The roar of motorcycle engines echoed down the empty country highway as the sun dipped below the horizon, bleeding gold into the blue. The Iron Riders, a brotherhood of tough, leather-clad bikers, were on their way back from a long charity ride, tired but in high spirits. But just as they rounded a bend near an old dirt road, something caught their eye. A small figure stumbling out of the woods. It was a boy, maybe 8 or 9 years old, barefoot, clothes torn, face streaked with dirt and tears. He waved frantically, his thin arms trembling in the fading light. The lead rider, a grizzled man named Jack Iron Malone, slowed his bike and signaled the others to stop. The group pulled over, their engines rumbling low as the boy ran toward them, nearly collapsing in the gravel. His voice cracked between sobs. "Please, please follow me home. You have to come quick." The desperation in his eyes froze every man in place. Before we dive deeper, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of helping those in need, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in humanity, and subscribe to our channel. Every click helps us spread stories that remind the world compassion still exists. Jack dropped to one knee beside the boy, gently gripping his shoulders. Up close, he could see bruises on the boy's arms and a fresh scrape along his cheek. His shirt was torn and stained with what looked like mud and blood. "Easy, kid," Jack said softly, his rough voice breaking the tension. "What's going on?" But the boy only pointed toward the woods, shaking his head, tears streaming down his cheeks. "Please, my mom, she's not moving." Without another word, Jack nodded to his crew. The Iron Riders revved their engines and followed the boy down a narrow dirt trail, branches scraping against their leather jackets as they rode deeper into the forest. The air grew colder, quieter. The boy ran ahead, barefoot, stumbling but determined. After what felt like forever, they reached a small, run-down cabin. The roof was sagging, and one of the windows had been boarded up. The door hung slightly open. The boy darted inside, crying out for his mother. The bikers exchanged uncertain looks, hardened men who had seen too much in life but still felt their stomachs twist with worry. Jack stepped through the doorway first. The air inside was heavy, a mix of damp wood, mildew, and something faintly metallic. In the dim light, he saw her, a woman lying motionless on the floor beside an old mattress. Her face was pale, her lips cracked, and her hand still clutched an empty water bottle. The boy knelt beside her, shaking her arm, whispering, "Mom, I brought help." Jack crouched beside them, pressing 2 fingers to her neck. There was a pulse, faint but there. "She's alive," he called out. The others rushed in, one of them grabbing his phone to call an ambulance. But there was no signal this deep in the woods. Another biker ran back to the bikes to grab a first aid kit. Jack took off his vest, folded it, and placed it under the woman's head. As they worked, the boy spoke through sobs. Their car had broken down 2 nights ago on the way to his grandmother's house. His mom had tried to walk for help, but had gotten too weak. They had run out of food and water, and he had been trying to find anyone on the road all day. When he saw the bikers' headlights, he thought maybe, just maybe, someone would finally listen. Jack felt a lump rise in his throat. He had a daughter once, around the same age, but life had taken her away in a storm of bad choices and regrets. Looking at this boy, lost and desperate, something deep inside him cracked open. "We're gonna get your mom some help, kid. I promise," he said. The Iron Rider sprang into action. They took turns soaking cloths with bottled water, wiping the woman's face, feeding her small sips. They covered her with their jackets to keep her warm. 2 riders sped off toward town to find help, while the others stayed behind. The forest grew darker, the only light coming from their motorcycle headlights, glowing like silent sentinels in the night. Hours passed before the distant wail of an ambulance cut through the silence. When paramedics arrived, the boy clung to Jack's arm, refusing to let go. As the medics lifted his mother onto a stretcher, Jack reassured him, "She's going to be okay." The boy looked up, eyes wide and raw, and whispered, "Thank you. You came when no one else did." Jack swallowed hard. "That's what brothers do," he said quietly. The bikers followed the ambulance to the hospital. They waited in the parking lot all night, their bikes lined up in the flickering streetlight. None of them left, not until the doctor finally emerged at dawn with a tired smile. "She's gonna make it," he said. The boy ran to Jack, hugging him tight. For a man who had seen war, loss, and everything in between, Jack had never felt something so pure or so painful. When the sun rose, painting the sky pink and gold, Jack made a silent vow. The boy's name was Ethan, and from that day forward, the Iron Riders would make sure he and his mother never went hungry or alone again. They fixed her car, repaired their home, and visited every week. They brought groceries, clothes, even helped her find a new job in town. Ethan would wait by the gate every Sunday morning, waving as the rumble of motorcycles echoed in the distance. But something else changed too, the bikers themselves. These men, once seen as rough outlaws, became local heroes. They organized food drives, raised money for struggling families, and helped anyone who called. And every time someone asked why, Jack would just smile and say, "Because one little boy reminded us what being human really means." As months passed, Ethan's mom regained her strength. She often told people that angels had come to save her that night, angels in leather jackets. Jack always laughed it off, but deep down, he knew she wasn't wrong. Life has a strange way of sending you the people you need, even when they arrive on roaring motorcycles instead of wings. Years later, at a charity event the Iron Riders hosted for families in need, a young man stepped up to the stage. It was Ethan, now in his late teens. His voice trembled as he spoke, but his eyes shone bright. "When I was a little boy, I ran out of the woods and begged a group of bikers to follow me home. I thought they were just tough men with scary looks, but they became my family. They didn't just save my mom's life. They saved mine too. They taught me what kindness really is." The crowd fell silent. Some wiped tears, others clapped softly. Jack, now grayer and slower, sat in the front row, pride written across his weathered face. When Ethan finished, he stepped off the stage and hugged Jack tight, whispering, "You kept your promise." Jack smiled, tears glistening in his eyes. "So did you, kid," he said. "You made it home." If this story has touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribe for more stories that remind us what true kindness looks like. It helps our channel continue spreading hope to millions around the world. And before we end, tell us in the comments, do you believe that one act of kindness can change someone's life forever? Because sometimes all it takes is a moment of courage and a heart willing to listen to turn strangers into family.